Look at those colours on it then.
Yeah, what an absolute cracker. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We are really going to have to rewind now all the way back to the end of February, beginning of March, when I first decided that to start the year going stalking for carp in London. What I do every year, and this year it basically started off with repeating the same process of what I do every year. You know, visiting all these other lakes that I've caught most of the ones that I'm after. And yeah, on our first trip this year, we did manage a couple out of this little canal that runs all the way through sort of central London. And I've already made a video about that, but yeah, we both had a couple of nice ones out of their reach. And it wasn't until the week after or so I started thinking I really have to track down some new material, find some mega carp which haven't been caught that much, you know, ones that haven't seen the limelight, and that's what I'm all about, you know, finding these new venues. And yeah, this year has been exactly that, exploring and trying to find some untouched carp. And yeah, I think we've definitely done that this year. All you have to do these days is get on your phone, open Google Maps, and try and find a couple of venues which don't look like syndicates and go exploring. This is how we stumbled across this lake. We probably visited 10 different lakes this day, and it wasn't until the very end of that particular session or that particular lookabout that we stumbled across this lake. We walked right up to the water's edge, and the first bit that we came to, we peered over the railings, and there was lovely common and a mirror sitting there, and we could not believe our luck of what we had just stumbled on. But it was very busy to park. The boats were all out in full force, so we decided to come back very early the next morning. We headed off somewhere for the night, and then we were back at the lake for first light, sort of 5 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, we both had an incredible start to this lake. And one fish that I had was absolutely incredible. Had a wrinkly old tail, small tiny mouth, and some big old pecks on it. An incredible carp, full of character. A lovely black one. Look at that. Me and Jack, we'd just done a night nowhere near London, and we decided to get up early, about 4 o'clock, pack up and get down there first light. And look at this bad boy. What a mega common. Look at his tail. Lovely fish. And hopefully, chance of a few more as well. Oh, absolute banger. Off she goes. That'll do, won't it? That'll do. We have come back late Friday night, which it is now, and we are going to do a night in the middle of London and hopefully catch a few fish. But I know it's going to be dark, but we're going to have to do our best, hopefully catch a few, and we'll see what tonight brings. But I'm absolutely buzzing for this. It is going to be a mega night. Literally just arrived at the park. The wind's pushing down into this bay. Going to put some bait out and then we're going to go back to the van and get the rods, and hopefully the park will quieten up when it shuts. So yeah, let's get some bait out. When we were walking round, you know when you just get that sense where you think this place is going to be pretty busy at night, especially with a lot of drunks and sort of skagheads walking around the park after closing, and that is exactly what we got. There was lots of gangs about. They had big old pit bulls on either arm, and yeah, we just both looked at each other and thought, is it worth it? Is it worth trying to catch these fish and maybe putting our safety, or not putting our safety first, shall we say? So we decided to go off elsewhere that day and then return again first thing in the morning, because, like I said, it just wasn't worth it. Better late than never, eh? First morning bite. Banging company. Yeah, man. Nice one, boy. Sick. First one of this morning. Man, that was a mental take, wasn't it? Absolutely melted off. And we've got this lovely carp common. Nice one, mate. Cheers, bruv. That was wicked, wasn't it? Oh, mate.
Look at those colours on it.
Little tail. Number 2. They really do go some in here. Absolutely loving this style.
They all seem to be the same strain in there. They all have these really small little mouths, really dark, and yeah, just really nice clean fish. But there were a couple in there that we'd seen and we definitely had our eye on. So after Jack had those couple of fish, I had to reel in, go and get my stalking kit and go for a wonder, because my spots just weren't producing. They didn't turn up on that bait. And yeah, I went off walking around and I managed to find a fish sitting in the margins just over the side of these railings. It drops off really deep, and I could see them all when I had my polies on, and I could see them all underneath me. And yeah, there was a couple of commons down there, and I thought I better join the party and get amongst some of these fish today.
Another little angry common. Like I say, we've got to wade our way through these ones, and then hopefully something bigger will turn up. We know there's bigger in here because we've seen them in our own eyes. So yeah, I think that'll do for this one. We'll just slip her back.
Be free, back into your litter trade lake.
It seemed to be becoming a bit of a routine over the next coming weeks. We were up early and yeah, sort of we were loading the bands about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were making it there for first light, and just seeing that sun come up over the lake, beautiful wildlife. And you know what, in London the scenery is picturesque at that time of morning. There's no one about, and like I said, you've got the birds singing, you've got wildlife running around, and yeah, you really can get something special from angling in the city. And I think that's probably why I'm so addicted to it, you know, just getting in there first thing, trying your hardest to get amongst a couple of fish, and then back out whilst everyone's still sleeping. And it's just something special about that. And this morning we turned up, and it seemed to be a lot different to the previous sessions. We couldn't really find many, and it made us work for them. But yeah, I think I did manage one common from the other side of the lake this day. But yeah, another one. But we're getting a bit closer to catching that big common.
There we go. Biggest one so far today. 2 apiece now, and yeah, I think we'll go on somewhere else, maybe come back here later. But yeah, nice dark plump common, and yeah, we've got to go and find a mirror, I think. But yeah, nice. He goes. Is here?
Yeah. See you later.
Like I've previously mentioned, it seemed to be a timing thing on this lake. First thing in the morning just seemed to be their feeding time, like on most lakes, and if you could find them, you could definitely get a bite. And yeah, this day I think Jack managed a really grey, leathery kind of mirror, which was quite rare, to be fair. There wasn't many mirrors in this lake, probably 4, 5 at max.
Nice.
And yeah, he'd had one of them.
Nice one, G.
Buzzing.
That was worth getting up early morning for, wasn't it?
It wasn't just Jack that got amongst those mirrors. I'd also had a rather cool one while stalking. I just flicked my bread in front of it, watched it fall slowly through the water column, and then bang, we was into one. And like I said, there's not many in there, so yeah, it's a lovely looking fish.
Look at him then. He's cool. First one of our day trip today. Literally just been here 5 minutes. and we're after a big mirror out of here. And well, I saw a mirror and got excited, didn't I? So I thought I'd have this one. Lovely looking fish, but not the big one we're after. Yeah. Nonetheless, one under the belt today, and hopefully a few more to come. Right, let's get her back. Here we go. Thank you then. Cool, he's cool.
Cool, isn't he?
A wicked start to today's little trip. Nice little common. Hopefully we're going to get a few more. We've seen a big mirror in here. Hopefully we can get that on the bank as well. But that was wicked fun.
He's lovely.
Yeah, boy. Oh, you're filming again, yeah. Wicked.
The water clarity was going to take a change for the worse. Yeah, the next time we turned up, the lake had gone incredibly green, and the water clarity had just gone. We could not find a fish. They seemed to be holding out in the middle amongst a load of weed, and it was just like I said, it was just a massive algae bloom. And we thought to give it a rest from there on in, because the fish had decided that they'd gone a bit paler as well. With that water clarity going, we'd noticed that the fish had lost their colour. It was really weird, so we decided we didn't want to catch them when they was all looking pale, and decided to pull off. And this is when things started looking up. So it had been months since I visited the lake. I was fishing another place in London, and I decided when I was driving past just to peek in. And this was late November. All the scenery had totally changed. The colours had come right out in the trees. Just really autumnal, absolutely lovely. You know, that a proper carp angler's mecca, isn't it? Autumn. And when I turned up, couldn't see him like in the areas where we'd been catching him in the spring. And let me just quickly tell you, the water clarity was back to being absolutely tap water clear. So yeah, if they were in the margins, I was going to see him. And I was down the deep end of the lake, and yeah, hadn't seen anything. So I thought I'll just go for a wander. And normally I avoid the top end because I just never seen them up there in the spring, even though it's the really shallow part of the lake. They just never seem to be up there. But I thought, whilst I'm here, you know, every angler you've got to walk around and explore every nook and cranny of the lake, haven't you? And I wandered right up to this shallow end, and as I approached, I honestly can't tell you how shocked I was. Every single fish in that lake was sitting up in probably 2 foot of water max. Honestly, I've seen many places in the winter, if there's a trickle in to the lake, then the carp are going to be there in the winter. For some reason, it's obviously a degree or two warmer, that water that flows into the lake. And this particular spot where they were all sitting, there was like a big metal grill, and there was obviously an inlet flowing into the lake from there. and all the bars that were coming, the wrought iron bars coming down into the lake, the fish were swimming in between them and up underneath the banks. I honestly, I was standing there, and from underneath my feet I was just watching another fish, one after another coming out underneath me and just trotting off back into the lake. And I knew then that I needed to be back here first thing in the morning for first light, and hopefully I'd be able to catch that big common that we were after.
I knew they'd all still be there this morning, and literally when I put the head torch on, they were all there in numbers, a lot of them, probably like 20, 30 fish, something like that. But yeah, hand selected the biggest common. I went for a free lining method because obviously I wanted to catch the biggest fish, and yeah, that's what I've done. So I'm going to try now, while the park's still quiet, is to get this fish photographed, and then, you know, if I haven't spooked him that much, I'll have a go through the mirror, but we shall see. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I can't believe what's happened over the last 24 hours. I took a gamble that they'd still be here this morning. Up at 4 o'clock, back down here, and they were here, and I managed to finish a video that was started back in spring with this big old common. Look at that final piece. Yeah, what an absolute cracker. It's got to be over 30 pounds. Look at the belly on it, absolute beast. Finally managed to get one in these autumnal colours as well, so yeah, can't beat it. Absolute cracking fish. Yeah, let's get her back. Absolutely buzzed. That's what it's all about. Sweet.
The moral of this story is, if you've got lakes near you, or you found something interesting on your phone, then just go exploring, because you will find something. Maybe not at first, but if you carry on, I'm telling you, there are fish still out there to be found. And yeah, I wouldn't have caught any of these fish without going for a wander. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for me, give it a thumbs up, and maybe drop me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you all. And yeah, I will see you again very shortly with another one.